Hello, welcome to November 20th, 2024. It's a Wednesday. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation. This is an exercise that I do every morning, a little after waking up, to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours and how I did with the challenges and the opportunities that I may have met, especially the ones that ambushed me. I recite my objectives, the 8 of them from my book, and then I plan for the coming day and ready myself for death. Let's get into it. So yesterday was a pretty straightforward day. I had a lot of meetings. It was busier than it's usually been. Usually I'm not too busy anymore, now that my projects are mostly complete. Although something big did happen. Basically an opportunity has arisen to a project that I finished, but I prepared a part 2 for, a part 2 of a project. There might be an opportunity for me to work on that project from overseas, from Japan. We'll have to see how this goes. I'd give it about a 50-50 shot. I have mixed feelings about it. At once, I would like to make a clean break from the work world, but at the same time, if you follow these daily blogs of mine, or vlogs, you'll know that I'm having anxiety about giving up my career, and I'm welcoming and finding myself, there's this visceral someone within me. It's like a little voice within me that's saying, yes, do this. It would only be a couple of hours a day. I would probably, since I get up early every morning, I wake up at 4 a.m. I could, maybe ostensibly start work at 5 a.m., which would be about late afternoon here in the United States, which means I would just have the meetings in the afternoon and maybe work 2, maybe 3 hours a day. I'd be done by breakfast. And this would help me to ease out of the work life a little more. It feels like a good thing to do. So it's in the hands of kind of the management where I work and HR to see if there's a path forward to this. Having somebody working, I certainly couldn't do it as an employee, not working overseas, but I could possibly do it as a contractor. If they can find a way to make this happen, then I might just do this. Just a second, there's a neighbor going by. If they can find a way to do it, then I'm going to do it. I've already given them the green light. Not the green light, the go ahead. Not the go ahead. It sounds like it's too much in my court. I've already told them I'm interested. I would not just embrace this, I would like to do this. It would be, as I said, a good segue. I would appreciate it deeply and enjoy it. So that's all happening. The other thing that's happening is that we ran into a big stumble with the shipping. So the day that we wanted to fly over with Rudy, which would be the 18th, technically the flight would leave on December 19th at like 1 a.m. It's all in the works, but I went to buy a ticket on the plane, and there's only one ticket left on that flight, and it's $6,500 for the ticket, which is a little steep. So I'm scrambling right now to see if we can move everything forward a week. So leave on the 13th, which technically that means I would be departing this life on the 12th, which is technically my last day of work. What that would mean is that if I can pull this off, I would keep that as my last day of work, and then just take like 3 or 4 holiday days or vacation days. And so I would actually leave the Friday before, but be my last day of employment. Not the last day that I work, the Friday before, and then go in, turn in my badge, turn in my computer, and then just take a couple of days of vacation until the end. So you see how that works, and then I can leave. But I have to, before I can pull the trigger on this, I have to, conduct a couple of logistical things. I need to find out if we can pull this off on the other end in Japan. Excuse me if I'm sounding strange. It's cold. I'm starting to shake. So I have to do that. I have to see if I call the vet this morning to see if they can see Rudy the week before that. The whole apparatus has to shift. And then I have to call the pet shipper, see if we can make that work. Barring all of that, we could always just fly separately, which would be my family would retrieve Rudy on the other end, and I would just make my own way across. It'll work out. What I wanted to comment on, the reason I do this video isn't so much to relate what's happening, but to talk about how I'm handling these things, utilizing my creed. And I'm happy to say, proud of myself, that the thing about the shipping the dog thing is, as anxiety ridden as that is, well, as anxiety inducing as it is, because there's so many things that change and have to happen, and it's in short notice, I've been keeping my head on my shoulders through this. It's like a little voice. I talked earlier just about a voice coming up from within saying, take the job, the opportunity. And there's another voice that seems to be coming down saying, be cool, Kurt. This will all work out with regard to the dog thing. Now, I know that there's not any voice within or voice without. It's just my various apparatuses of my own self speaking. And I'm glad for that. It means that maybe that if I don't sound too self-congratulatory, it means that I'm in tune with my inner daemon, not the type of the pitchfork. And I'm abiding my creed in terms of recognizing what is and with what is not within my control, within my reach. I can't control what's happening with the airline. I can't control what's happening if HR says no, etc., etc. But what I can do is recognize where I do have control, which is to say yes to the job opportunity, and to say, to reach out to all the parties for the dog thing, my wife, the dog shipper, the veterinarian, my boss, and do my best to make the arrangements in as timely a manner as possible, recognizing that all things will work out. The very worst thing that would happen in any of these cases is with the job thing, they say no, and then I'm back where I was, right? And that's fine too. In fact, that may be more desirable. In fact, I may come to regret if I choose to continue working, even if I'm on a part-time basis. The second thing that could be worst case scenario is that we have to push the dog shipping thing into January, which is not such a big deal anyway. I just stay here and wait it out. So it'll all work out. It all does, and not because of the machinations of fate, but because of the active, conscientious, and engaged efforts of the people that are involved, not wishing it to be so, or not believing that things work out the way they will, or that there's some grand scheme of things, and like the things people say, like it wasn't meant to happen. No, none of that. It's because we'll make solid, strong, well-considered efforts to make things happen, utilizing the principle of reason, for example, to recognize that as our main tool in this effort. So with that, that's pretty much it. My creed, I think, did I go over that? It consisted of 8 objectives: to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize my true limits and true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to keep my balance. As for today, I have maybe 3 meetings today, maybe, and a couple of other things to attend to. Am I ready for death? I think so. My affairs are in order, my relationships are sound, and my life's work is complete. So I sign off for now. Ooh, cold. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care.